Hello, my crafty friends. How are you today? Oh, I'm so glad you're here with me. I am looking forward to crafting with you today, and I'm using some really fun products from Pajama Crafter Stamps. And this is the new Meowentine stamp set. Perfect for Valentine's Day. So it's got all these fun kitties. You've probably been seeing lots of inspiration with this one lately, and that's because it is so fun. It just gives you so many cute options. So today I thought we would make a Valentine card because it's coming up very quickly. And I'm going to pair that with, this is a specialty paper pack that gives you 2 each of 4 different specialty papers cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we are going to specifically be using the disco ball. This is called the metallic glitz, maybe metallic. It's metallic something. I'm so sorry. It's escaped my mind, but I'm specifically going to be using the disco ball paper out of this pack. If you like specialty papers, but you don't want to buy like a huge pack, this is a great way to give them a try and see if you like them, to see if you want to buy a bigger set. So it kind of gives you just a taste of it, which I enjoy. I've been using them. And then I'm also going to be using In My Heart of Heart stencil, which is also a pretty new product for us. So I have gone ahead and stamped up several of my kitties and got them colored up, and I'll just show them to you real quick. They're so sweet, so fun to color. And this little guy, he's got a heart that he's catching. So this is just some of them that are in the set. And today we're going to use this chubby little angel kitty on our card. And you'll see more cards coming up, probably in posts, that I am going to be using the others that I have colored up. But aren't they just adorable? Love them. All right, to get started, let's go ahead and do our stenciling. And I'm going to be using the heart part of the stencil. It also gives you the outer edge that you can make shadows and things like that. And today I am going to be doing my stenciling on colored cardstock, which I think is really fun to do sometimes. So to position my paper, I also have a piece of white that I've used some nested dies, and the part that I want my stencil to be centered in is right here. So I'm just going to kind of put that where I want it, right like that, and then pull this out. That way I know that I have that on there straight. Now, not very much of my stencil is touching my mat, so I think I'll have better luck if I tape that in place. So I'm going to go ahead and just put some tape down. There we go. All right, and I just realized I'm going to be using some pink champagne ink, which is from Catherine Pooler, but I'm going to grab my brush. I forgot my brush. There we go, and I'm going to clean it off real quick because I have no idea what the last color was that I used. Yeah, that looks pretty clean. So you may notice that I'm sounding kind of different. I've had a head cold pretty much since we celebrated Christmas, and I'm still fighting it, so it's definitely affecting my voice today. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and do my stenciling. And I kind of go in spurts with my stenciling on colored paper. It's kind of like I'll get in a rut where I just do everything on white. And then it's like all of a sudden I'll remember, you know what, you can do all this on colored paper and it gives you a totally different look. And so I'll do, on the colored paper for a while. And then I'm like, I think I need to do it on white, and I just kind of go back and forth. So lately I've kind of been in this place where I've been doing a lot of just bringing in the colored paper as a base. And I like that look. All right. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm going to put my piece on top and just make sure that I got my ink all the way around there. I might do just a little bit more right up here in this corner. Okay. All right, I think that completes our stenciling. And before I remove my stencil, I'm just going to wipe it off real quick. This stencil is a little bit easier to clean when you still have it taped down. All right, one thing you need, well, there's two things that you need if you want to remake this card, and one of them is some nested dies. So any nested dies that you have in your stash will work for this project. I'm using nested hearts. Another thing you'll need is an embossing folder. And any embossing folder will do. And I just used this one. You can kind of see the design in there. It's just a geometric kind of design. And so I took my nested die, not the largest one, but I used the second largest one and cut, and I'm using hearts, but you could do a circle, you know, you could do a square, triangle, whatever nested dies you have, octagon, that would work. Since I have hearts and it's Valentine's Day, I went with hearts. But you're going to take your largest one that fits on your A2 card and go ahead and cut that out. If you don't have an eyelet one, which I was just fortunate that I had this eyelet one, but what you could do is take your largest one and then the second one down and make like a little outline so that you have a real thin little outline, and that could be your decorative edge instead of an eyelet one. But I chose to do this one since I had it. So the way I did this, I first took a piece of pink paper and I put this die and this die, and I taped it in place, ran it through my machine, and that cut out two pieces. So this was in the middle. So then I lifted up my tape and I only removed the outer die and I left the inner die in place. Then I took that inner die and I laid it on the white paper, taped it all down, and ran it through without this die, and that's how I got this heart. And I lined my papers up such that they would be in the right place. So hopefully that makes sense. Then to die cut this piece, I turned my white piece over and I put this on the back. I taped it in place and then I traced around it with a pencil. So that way I know exactly how I cut it. I can glue it down knowing that my heart is going to be in the right place. And it's going, you know, my outline is going to be even and it's going to look right because I taped it all in place before I cut it. So let's go ahead and put this piece, our fun disco ball paper, in place. And I'm just going to be able to glue it down right inside where I traced it with my pencil. So hopefully that kind of gives you a tip of how I did it. And where's my glue? Here it is. And I'm just going to add my glue around the edge here. And put it right inside my pencil mark. Now we do have just a little bit of wiggle room here to turn it over, and that looks great. So that is how I got my piece. So I used 3 different of the nested dies. All right, so now to finish this card off, we're going to go ahead and glue down. Oh, we're going to have to cut this down to size. So after I did my die cutting, then I did my embossing. So that way you're not running your embossing through the machine afterwards and kind of pressing down on your embossing. So I'm going to cut 1/8 off of each side. Because I want this to have a pink outline. I missed a spot. There we go. And right. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. All right, now the last thing for the front that I'm going to do is put on my outer ring. So one fun thing about this design is you end up with 3 large hearts that you can use on other projects. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1. I didn't design a second card, but I have a feeling that I'll be using these fun hearts when I use my other sweet kitties that I've already colored up. So I like it when a design kind of gives you more pieces so you can make your cards kind of look like they go together. I like that. So I'm just going to glue this down right on the front here. And you remember back in grade school when we used to, make like heart Valentines and give them to our friends? That's kind of what I was thinking of when I designed this card. And now I'm going to set my little kitty right here as if he's made this Valentine. And let me grab my stamp set because we are going to stamp ourselves a sentiment. And I'm going to use Valentine, You're the Cat's Meow. I think that is perfect for this card. Let me set that aside and grab a piece of white over here. And I'm just going to cut myself a strip. Hopefully that's the right length. Yes, that should be good. And now I am going to go ahead and do this in a Misty, in a stamping platform, because I know I want to stamp it in the pink ink that I used for the inside. And I know that I'll probably have to do it multiple times because that's just how that usually works. If I was stamping it in black, I could just do it on a block, and the VersaFine Clair ink is perfect to do that kind of thing. Excuse my head if I get into it here. Okay. All right. I'll probably have to stamp it many times here to get a good impression. For some reason, the Valentine is getting plenty of ink, but in the middle, not quite. All right, one more. All right, we're going to go with that. All right, I'm going to do this V one more time. Right back over there. Okay, now we're done. But I just love this sentiment, You're the Cat's Meow. Perfect to go with our sweet little kitties. So I'm just going to place this right across the top. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Pajama Crafter stamps, of course, they carry wonderful stamps and dies and all kinds of fun images and things, but they also carry quite a wide variety of fun cardstocks and like shaker bits and like gems and embellishments for your cards. So we're actually going to put just a few silver embellishments on our card. Let me grab one of my little trays here. And today I'm going to be using some little silver ones, but Pajama Crafter Stamps has a wide variety of different kinds of little discs and gems that you can add to your cards. So if you're in the market for those kinds of things, you'll definitely want to check that out. And I'm just going to add just a couple right in here to highlight our cat. Oops. And let's see, I kind of want to use the smaller ones. One right here, there we go. That might be a little too small. All right, there we go. There's our Valentine for the day. I think that this card is super sweet, and I love the sentiment, love the kitty cat, and this disco ball paper just really adds that sparkle and shine. And this is a sparkle and shine that my son will not get mad at me for giving to my granddaughters, because he doesn't like glitter in the house. But he has 3 daughters, so I have news for him. As they grow up, he's going to have glitter in the house, right? So he's going to have a rude awakening someday. But right now, he tries to keep the glitter out. So this disco ball paper is great if you have people that are anti-glitter. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I will list these products below the video if you're interested in any of them. Do give this video a thumbs up, and thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I look forward to crafting with you again very soon. Bye-bye.